Hello, welcome back. For today's video, I'm going to be reviewing a full face of new Drugstore makeup. So I have some Revolution, I've got some Max Factor, I've got some NYX. This looks interesting actually. I've got some MUA, I've got some, what is this, McoBeauty. Oh, and some Collection as well. So let's run through it and see if it's any good. So we'll start off with eyes, and for that I'm going in with this palette here. So this is one of the Revolution Icon palettes, and this one is the Smokey Icon. It's really nice and cool toned. It's very, very pretty. So as always, we've got a row of shimmers at the top and then a row of matte shades, and then we have two creams on the end just here. Just give you a little look of it open as well. I think these are really nice, you know. I've tried quite a few of these, most of them actually. This colour here is beautiful. This one looks really interesting, doesn't it? Okay, so here are the swatches. They're really nice actually. Do they look more warm on camera? I don't know. I'll see when I edit, but they're very cool toned. So I've done the shimmers here, and then these are obviously the matte shades, and then these two here are the two creams. But yeah, they're really nice, like beautiful colours. So I think I'm going to start off with this shade just here. It's almost like a bit of a kind of a clay shade. And I'm going to pop that through my crease. So just taking it through here to about 2/3 of it really. This is actually a bit more closer to my skin tone than I thought it was. So it's not showing up that well, to be quite honest with you. Okay, so that's how it looks. It's all right. It is buildable. You can obviously see it. I don't know. I just thought it was a bit darker. That's all. It's a nice shadow. I don't know actually. Maybe. But yeah, lovely pigment and really nice to blend. It's very smooth as well. I do find that with these palettes, the matte shades are very, very smooth. I'm then going to go into this one here, which is a really nice like grey mauve. Oh, that looks really nice. And then I'm going to put this on the outer half here. I really like that. That's really nice. It's blending into that other shade beautifully actually. This is what I would call like a true smoky shade, like a really nice purpley grey. Oh, I love that. I think that is such a nice shade. Really, really nice. Right, I'm just going to diffuse around the edge here just to soften it slightly. And I'm going to go into, I don't know whether to go for this one or this one. I do like them both. I might go for this more grey one actually. As I say, I'm just going to take this around the edge here. I just feel like it's a little bit harsh. I do want to keep that deepness though. Yeah, I feel like that's a bit better. Right, and then on the front here, I'm really tempted to go with this shade, you know, but it did come off. It wasn't as strong a pigment, like a shimmer, as the others were. But I don't know, I think that might kind of look quite nice. And it is more, when it's, you know, meshed together, it's more just silver. I think I might go for that one, just because. I think because it's quite a heavy sort of colour on the eye, a subtle shimmer might actually look a bit better. I don't know how this is going to work with a brush because I had to really dig my finger into it when I swatched it. Yeah, it's not really working awfully well with the brush, to be honest. I mean, it's okay, but I think it'll be better with my finger. It's quite a dense brush as well, that one. I thought that might be all right, but hey ho. Yeah, definitely works better with a bit of warmth from the from your finger. Okay, so yeah, I really like that. I think that's really nice. Right, so we'll move on to mascara because I have this one here from Collection. I think this is very, very new. And this one is called the Maxxx, or Max with a triple X, I don't know, long length. And this is the Volume Mascara. Oh, Max Volume. The wand is really interesting on this actually. So it looks like this. It's like little bobbles. And yeah, each of them has kind of short, I would say, stubby bristles. But I'm really intrigued by this. I got the shade black or ultra black. I didn't see any other shades when I went in, but that doesn't mean that there isn't more shades. I just didn't see any. So that's what my lashes are like with no mascara at all on. The ball on the end actually makes it really easy to get to those like outer corner lashes just here. Can you see that? Because it just grabs them. And it's kind of like, because it's a ball, the bristles are in all different directions, if you know what I mean. So yeah, you can just pull them out and give yourself that little flick, which I really like. That also works for like the front as well. Like if you come in from this angle, for example, you can get those little ones quite easily at the front. So I do really like the design of this wand. So that's what it's like after one coat. And I feel like it's very natural. I was expecting, with it being called Max Volume, I was expecting more. I mean, it's only one coat. I've got another one to do yet. But also I found that, I can show you on this side actually, because that's just one, that I do have a bit of a curl, but not as much as I normally would. I don't feel like it like holds that curl very well. So I'll go on with another coat. Yeah. I love the one though. I do really like it. And normally I'm so messy with mascara, but I mean, I'll probably get some on there now I've said it. But yeah, I don't get any on my lid with this. Okay, so that's what it's like with two coats now on that one compared to the one on that side. Yeah, you can definitely see a difference. This one looks thicker, like the lashes look thicker than this side, but you know, it's got two coats, you'd expect that anyway. But yeah, I just don't feel like I get the lift that I normally do with my favourite mascaras, including, you know, some drugstore ones. But yeah, I mean, it's nice and I love the concept of the wand, I really do. I just don't feel like I get that lift that I would like to have. So next we're going with foundation, and I've got this one here from McoBeauty. This one is the Miracle Hyaluronic Tinted Serum. So it looks like this. Everything's a dupe from this company, so this is a dupe for something, I don't know what. Do let me know if you know. But this one is in the shade 0.5, sorry, to 2, very light. Now, the only thing I will say about these, I got these from Superdrug, by the way, most of this stuff, is that the shade range was extremely limited. Like, this was the lightest one, and then the one up from this was, I can't remember now, 3 to 4 or 2 to 3. And the difference between this one and the next shade up in person was quite a difference. And the shade up from this looked really warm compared to this one as well, which is why I went for this. I thought, well, if it's a bit light, we can warm it up with a bit of bronzer. But yeah, it's got a little pipette on it like this. They had other deeper shades as well, don't get me wrong. It's just, I mean, that the jump between shades was like ridiculous, to be quite honest. I mean, see, that being the lightest shade, I think, you know, looks quite dark for a light shade, or very light as they call it. So pop some on my hand. Let's take about that much. So as you can see, it's got a runny, it's called Serum. So let's take this on my brush and see what it's like. It's actually a pretty good colour match for me, but I'm not that pale. I mean, I'm pale, but I'm not that pale. You know, if you're any lighter than me, you're going to really struggle to find a shade in this. I have to say, though, it does blend into the skin really nicely. And it does feel really lightweight. It feels almost like skincare. Do you know what? I actually really like that. It is a perfect colour match for me. So any paler than me, and I think you're going to struggle to get this. But it looks so nice. It looks really nice on the skin. Evens things out beautifully, but without being cakey. It's extremely lightweight. It reminds me of the Maybelline skin tint, you know, the one with the dropper as well. However, I prefer the finish of this. It's a bit more glossy, or not glossy, but dewy. But no, it's really nice. And bearing in mind, you know, I've got a few blemishes at the moment, hormones, but I did have one here, and it's covered that actually quite nicely. Well, can still see it, but you know, it's not as red. But I love the finish of it. I think it's really nice. So you look at my skin before compared to after. It is nice. It's really nice. So that's what it's like all over now. I think it's really pretty. It's a really nice product. I was going to say foundation, but tinted serum base product. But no, it is lovely. Love the shade. Love the formula. I love the finish as well. It dries down quite nicely, actually. It's not, you know, you can't feel it. So it completely dries down, but it leaves a really nice satin finish. I think that's beautiful, really nice. So for bronzer, I have these here from Max Factor. So these are called the Glow Framer. I've got hazel and I've got amber as well. They come in all different shades, which is pretty cool. They're all quite kind of, I would say, more on the orangey side of bronzer, because they're supposed to be that, I suppose, a bit like bronzing drops sort of colour, if you know what I mean. But I'm okay with that because I actually like that anyway. So I'm going to take this one first, which is amber, which is a slightly darker shade. Let's give it a shake actually first. So this one is like that sort of shade. So it looks pretty dark, to be honest with you. However, they're quite, can you see how runny the formula is? Which to me says that they're quite sheer. So I think what I'm going to do is just work it into my brush. And then I'm going to use this in my normal areas where I would normally place my bronzer. Can you see it's not like really, really dark? It's actually a really nice shade. Just do the cheek first. So I want it about there, I think. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my sponge afterwards. Use that just to blend it in. Just using the brush for placement more than anything. So like that. Then my sponge, the one that I use for my foundation, I'm just blending that in. It's actually really nice, really nice. Not too dark at all. It blends beautifully into, you know, my foundation that I've used. And it gives that really nice, like, not contoured because obviously it's too high for contour, but it gives that really nice structure, you know, like where the sun would naturally catch the skin. Does that make sense? Where the sun would normally catch the skin. Yeah, kind of. Yeah, it's you know, where you would normally tan, basically. See, for me, I tan more around like the perimeters of my face, like round here, and then in the middle I'm still tan, but I'm just a bit lighter, which is kind of what I'm going to go for today. So yeah, really nice, basically. Long story short. And then I'm going to take it as well just around the top here. I will say a little bit goes a long way as well. You know, this I haven't used any more. This is just still what's on my brush. And then we'll blend that in as well. See, I think that's really nice. And that's what it's like all over. So both sides and around there. And then I'm going to take Hazel, which is a slightly lighter shade. And this one, I'm going to concentrate more on kind of this area. So again, I'm just going to take a tiny amount. You can see that is quite a bit lighter and more of a browny sort of tone than an orangey tone, if you know what I mean. I think I'm just going to use this little brush, you know, for this one. It's actually an eyeshadow brush, but I don't want a big brush for this bit. So I'm going to pop this one. Again, I'm just placing first, then I use the sponge to blend. Sort of around here. Trust the process. And then I'm just going to take this on the nose here, like that. And then take my sponge again and just blend that into the foundation. Yeah, what I like about these is they don't have to actually lift it off the foundation either. They do sit on top really nicely. So I like that. And for me, naturally, if I were to get a tan, that is how I would be. So as I say, darker here And then in the centre here, I'd still tan, but it wouldn't be quite as dark as it would be around there. Everyone's different. I think they are anyway. But yeah, for me personally, you know, that's how it will be. And I think it looks quite natural, actually. I do really like it. For blush, I'm going on with this one here, which is, again, from McoBeauty. It's the Baby Face Multi-Use Cream Stick Blush. Looks like this, and I'm pretty sure this is a Rhode dupe, just from the packaging alone, if anything. But yeah, it's like that. It looks a really nice colour. So if I swatch it for you, it's like that. It feels really nice as well. Yeah, beautiful shade. It's like a really nice rosy pink. I think what I'll do is I'm going to take this straight onto the brush. I do prefer to do this anyway, to be honest. I think you can control it a bit better. And then we'll go on. Very nice at blending. It blends beautifully, like really nice. Oh, what do you think of that? I think that's really nice. Like really nice. Again, it's quite kind of natural as well. Obviously, you can build it up if you want it to be more obvious. But for me, I really like it. I think it's really, I love the shade. It sits so nicely on top of the foundation again. Like everything seems to sit quite well together. That shade's beautiful. I really like it. Yeah, it's like quite a matte foundation when it dries down. I mean, there is a bit of a glow, but it is like texture-wise and how it dries down to quite a matte sort of look. But no, it's really nice. I'm really impressed at how it blends, actually, because I think this was like $5.99, which is really reasonable. But it actually works, I would say, just as well as a lot of high-end ones that I've got. Yeah, if not better, to be quite honest with you, but no, really nice. So I also have a highlighter, and I have this one here from MUA. This is the Shimmer Highlight Powder in Oyster Silk. I think this is supposed to be really popular. Oh, it's got tape on it. I've tried, a highlighter from this range before, the one that looks like this, but just a bit more of a goldy tone. But this is the sort of shade that I would normally prefer, which is, it's still a bit gold, but it's more of like a light champagne. I tend to go for this sort of thing, or a pink, like a light pink. So I'm just going to take it on this highlighter brush here. Yeah, I've heard really good things about this. Oh, that's nice. That's really nice. You don't need a lot of it either. You know, I went in, I would say, a bit more than I normally would. But, oh, look at that. The shade is beautiful, like really nice. As I say, it's quite a light champagne, but it's got that little bit of like iciness to it as well. Yeah, it almost gives that like wet look to the highlighter. It's very natural again, like obviously no cast, and as I turn my head you get that beautiful shimmery sort of, I don't know really, it's not even a shimmer, it's like, as I say, it's just like a wet look, like sheen, that's the word I'm looking for, like a sheeny sort of highlighter. But yeah, as I say, you know, a little bit does go a long way. So I went in too heavy, I think, the first time, because I didn't dip back into it. I just went on that side, and then I went on that side with the same amount. You know, just went in once. So yeah, that's really impressive. And I think this is like £3, so affordable. I think I'm just going to quickly dip back into this palette just to use a little bit on the underneath of my eyes. And, oh, if I can get it open, there we go. And I'm going to go into this shade here again, which is the one I use on the outer part here on a tiny brush. I'm just going to use this one. You see, it's really weeny. These are from MUA Beauty. Love these brushes. And I'm going to take this, just as I say, right on. Oh, that tickles. On the outer part here, like that. And then on still a small brush, a bit fluffier, I'm going to dip into, I think I'm going to go for this really pale one here and use that just to blend that out. Yeah, that's better. I like to do that just to connect it really. But no, Cute. Right, okay, so I also have this powder from NYX. So it's this one here, the Wonder Snatch powder. They have all different shades of this. They've got like a pink, a lilac, they've got this one I think is Peach Posse. So they've got peachy shades, which I think is really good. And I think from when I looked at the picture, I didn't close this properly. Hey ho. I noticed that some of them were kind of like more pigmented and some of them were what they class as translucent. I think this one is more of a translucent one. They have a little slidey thing in here. I haven't used it yet, but I did just rip the top off when I did a haul just to show it. And this here is a little slider to close so that this doesn't happen, which I forgot to do. So yeah, apologies about that, but never mind. So I'm going to go on with this powder brush here. I'm actually going to use this little bit that's in the lid and just take off any excess. And then all I do with powder is I go on this bit here. Look at that. That's really nice. It's very fine. Oh, I've got an itch. It's very fine, like really fine. And then I'm going to go, you see these pory areas here? I just like to go over those as well. Look at the difference. I mean, it's not like, you know, dramatic or anything, but there is a difference. Is it a bit shimmery, like a sheeny? No, I don't think it is. That must be what was on my brush. Although I always use this one for powder. Hey ho. Right, I'll do the same on this side. Oh, that's better. Maybe I didn't put enough on that side. Oh, that looks really nice. It looks really smooth as well. You know, it doesn't look like I'm caked in powder or anything. I don't use much. You know, I tap so much, like there's nothing coming off of it. And then, I'm lost now. And then I kind of go here on both sides. Then what I tend to do is just take a bit and just squeeze it. And just quickly go on the underneath, like that. Obviously, it's better to use a smaller brush, but I'm just lazy. I can't be bothered to use two brushes. And then, very lastly, just on the centre here and the nose. That is so nice. That is a really nice powder. It looks so smooth. And that shade is really nice as well. I'm glad I went for that one, actually. Yeah. I love that. I think that is so nice. It was quite affordable as well. I can't remember. Was it about a tenner? I want to say it was about 10 quid, but I'm not sure. I can't remember. But yeah, I'm pretty sure it was about that. Or 11.99 maybe. But no, it is really nice. It is quite small. It is smaller than I thought it was going to be. Like, I went to pick this up and I was like, oh, it's not as big as I thought. 6 grams, which for a powder, it's like, I'm trying to think. Like normally a powder, like a loose powder, this one, for example, this MUA one is 10 grams, so almost twice as much. But this one's like, you know, about a third of the price as well. So yeah, I wouldn't say it's the cheapest when you bear that in mind, you know, sort of say £22 or something compared to the other one for like 10 grams. And I think most of the like the high-end ones, I haven't got any on me, but are sort of around 15 grams for, and they're normally about sort of £30, aren't they? Like the Laura Mercier one, for example. So price-wise, it's probably about the same when you work it out. But it is really nice. It is a really nice powder and I'm really happy I got it. And I am going to pick that up regularly because I love how it looks. It just looks so smooth. It doesn't look dry or cakey. It just looks smooth. Yeah, I think it's beautiful, really nice. So very lastly, we have lips. And for that, I have this. I'm so excited to try this, which is the NYX Smushy Matte Lip Balm. Now, I, in my head, have feelings that this is going to be quite similar to the Korean formulas, like the Fui pudding pots. I think Romand do some as well like that. So I'm going to start off by going in with this liner. This isn't, I've had these for ages. I love these actually. This one is in the shade, what is this, Pink Jection, that's it. So it's one of the Duck Plump liners, and I'm just going to use this just to line my lips. Okay, and then we're going in with this, and this one is in the shade Snuggle Season, or Snuggle Season. I think that's supposed to be season. It's got one of these like little tips like this, and it's actually quite a flexible one as well, which is pretty cool. So that's what it looks like in there. Oh look, these, it smells like, oh, I don't know. Something I really like. It's making me feel hungry. Definitely some kind of food product. I love how matte that is. It is actually quite similar, as I said, to the Fui Pudding Pots, like the look of it, not the texture. Feels really nice when you rub them together. Oh, it feels so soft and smooth. And it kind of evens out. You got any lines or anything on your lips? Look, it makes them look a bit more kind of blurred, because it's got that matte sort of look to it. Oh, I love the colour though. So here is the finished look, and yeah, I really like this. I think it's really nice. There was nothing that I disliked at all. I liked all of it. Some of it I really liked though, and for me that had to be this. Was really this shocked me, to be honest with you. I'm in an hour about trying this brand. Yeah, I've heard mixed feelings on it, to be honest with you, but I thought, no, I'll give it a go. I'll try a couple of things, and I have to say that this and this really stood out to me today, because they're absolutely beautiful. Like, I love this in the formula. It just looks so nice on the skin. I love how lightweight it is. And this, the shade is beautiful. And again, I'm sure you can build it up to be more intense if you want to. It did kind of feel like you could do that. But I just wanted a bit of a, not a wash of colour, but not quite as like in your face blush. And I love the shade of this as well, and I like the finish of it too. The powder was really nice, love the powder. Yeah, and the lip. Yeah, I love this kind of smushy lip balm. I think this is really nice. So as always, all products shown in today's video I will link in the description box below for you, along with any discount codes as well. Other than that, I hope you enjoyed watching, and if you did, please give me a thumbs up, and I'd really appreciate it. It'd mean the absolute world to me. If you did enjoy watching this video and you would like to see more content from me in the future, and you would like to subscribe to my channel. Until then, thanks for watching. Bye!